welcome to BC Place Stadium as we get set for a matchup of a pair of 2-2 teams. The Montreal Alouettes and the BC Lions. Damon Duval has kicked it off, and here's Ian Smart on the return. Up across the 30 and tripped up there. Sean Gallant brings him down. And Jarius Jackson, coming off back-to-back personal best passing performances, leads the Lions offense out.
And a change in the backfield for week 5 of the season. Joe Smith started the first 2, then gave way to Stephon Logan for the next 2. He's back in the lineup at the tailback spot. There's the receiving corps, been the same basically throughout the season. Geroy Simon with a couple of back-to-back huge games. And Dean Valley plays at guard for Sherko Hadji-Razuli.
Be interesting to see Joe Smith's production in this game. Jackson takes off on his own on the first play, and TJ Hill just moved into a tie for the tackle lead in the CFL as he brings Jarius down at the 39.
Montreal defensively come into tonight's game with Anwar Stewart, their leader in the front 4. He has a couple of sacks already this year. The linebacking core has Reggie Hunt in the middle. Big game, the defensive player of the week, Reggie Hunt, last week versus Saskatchewan. Diamond Ferry will switch with Dwayne Taylor. They'll roll in and out at the other spot. Matthew Prue plays in the middle at free safety.
Reggie said they finally let him out of his cage, and what a performance last week. Here's the second and short. Paris Jackson over the top and over Marcus Dell to the Alouette 41-yard line.
Good start for Paris Jackson, the leading Canadian receiver in the CFL after 4 weeks. Goes down the sideline, gets an isolation route on the backside here as Jarius Jackson puts all the receivers except Paris Jackson to the right side of the formation, just throws one up over the top.
30 yards to Paris Jackson. Jarius Jackson with 396 yards passing last week in the second straight win over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Jackson with time, looking for Geroy Simon. It's a record setting catch for Geroy Simon. He has just surpassed Dirty 30 Jim Young on the all-time Lions list.
He only needed 4 yards to become the all-time BC Lion in yardage, and Jim Young is in the building. Geroy Simon, before the game, wore Young's number 30. There is a new leader in the record books, and there's a look at Dirty 30 himself, the great Jim Young.
19 yards for Simon. And the Lions look sharp on this opening drive. Jackson looks to the end zone. Paris Jackson almost brought it in one-handed. So the record catch, Jim Young moves aside and salutes the new all-time Lion leading receiver, number 81.
And he's one of the biggest fans with number 81. Geroy Simon is Jimmy Young, who played with the BC Lions between 1967 and 1979. Some very lean years for the Lions early on. Had a couple of winning seasons late in his career. Just shy of 10,000 yards for Jimmy Young, and Geroy Simon is the new leader.
By the way, he's 1 touchdown behind Jimmy Young on the all-time receiving list as well. That could fall here, and Jackson drilled as he delivered the football. Diamond Ferry with a clean shot on the line quarterback.
A little pressure once you get down close to the goal line. The Montreal Alouettes come with a little pressure from Diamond Ferry. They also send the safety, Matthew Prue, in, and Jackson takes a heavy hit, but does not turn the football over, so the Lions will have an attempt at a field goal.
Paul McCallum, 4 for 5 last week, comes on as Geroy Simon and Jim Young celebrate on the sidelines. And McCallum strikes first for the Lions. Field goal on the opening drive of the game. BC up 3-zip. First possession field goal for the Lions, and now Anthony Calvillo. And the Alouettes will start at their own 35-yard line, and a handoff to Avon Coburn, and Coburn spurts across the 40 and has 7 on that pickup. Coburn not used much in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, his production has dropped just 6 yards last week, 23 the week before after a 100-yard game to start the season. The go-to guy for Anthony Calvillo is Kerry Watkins on the outside with 384 yards. And Josh Burke plays at tackle for Dave Mudge. Second start for Josh Burke.
Should qualify that Coburn hasn't been used much as a running back. He has the most catches in the CFL, 28. But they're on the ground here, and he bursts through the middle. Avon Coburn across the 35 and finally dropped by Corey Banks at the 30-yard line. Well, we wondered about the running game. It's back in the Alouette attack.
Well, just like that, they've done some self-scouting while they spent some extra time in Regina, Saskatchewan after their game last week. Spent some time as a team, and a great cutback here from Avon Coburn. That's what he does so well, to be able to cut quickly and cut back against the flow in the hole. And that running game looks like it is back for the Alouettes, and they need it back.
First gain was one more than all of last week. The second gain 30, one more than all of the last 2 weeks. And what a catch by Ben Cahoon. There's a trademark catch and a first down for the Alouettes at the Lion 20.
Just 133 yards for Cahoon coming in, which is a low number if you're just joining us in the Canadian Football League season. But the reason for that is he's worked in slowly due to injury in camp and just getting some more reps as each game goes by. But you know, the one guy on second down that Anthony Calvillo loves more than anything is Ben Cahoon.
And again, Coburn. Tyrone Williams bounced him outside, and Coburn still going down to the 1-yard line. Avon Coburn chewing up yards on the Alouettes' first possession.
His production fell so far off. 107 yards in game 1, 89 in game 2. The two games that the Montreal Alouettes won were won with great balance in their offense, and Avon Coburn was a huge part of that. And over the 2 games they've lost, Saskatchewan and Calgary, he has disappeared, and clearly the self-scouting is there. Avon Coburn early and often in this game.
The Coburn Project back in effect, and Adrian McPherson comes in a short yardage situation. First and goal from the 1. And McPherson trying to push ahead, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Alouettes. Second time they've scored a major on their opening drive in 2008.
This team has been such great starters to football games. Even the games they have lost, they have outscored opponents coming into this game tonight 42-2 in the first quarter. This 3 points by the BC Lions to start this game, the first time the defense has given up points in the first quarter, and they're always scoring early. 42 points so far this year, and once again they're on the board early.
Damon Duval adding the extra point. These two teams have a history of shootouts. Looks like we're in for one tonight. Welcome back to Vancouver. The Montreal Alouettes have not won since 2000, trying to end a 7-game losing streak here on the West Coast. Back to work, and that was broken up by Reggie Miles, knocking down the Calvillo pass. And we'll set that Lion defense for you.
Front four that's played the entire season, led by Cameron Wake, 6 sacks, 18 tackles from Wake on the outside. The linebacking core, Javi Glatt in the middle. And what a game in the secondary last week by Corey Banks. 2 interceptions, 2 sacks, knockdowns, 5 tackles, all over the place. Number 24 at the halfback spot, Corey Banks had himself a game.
Second and 10. Calvillo underneath, Kerry Watkins the catch and a first down as Watkins steps into Lions territory, dropped at the 47-yard line, his 24th catch of the year. He's been a favorite target for Anthony Calvillo.
You know, I remember last week we talked about how Henry Burris was one of the hottest quarterbacks in the Canadian Football League, and you know, it's amazing to me how many times Anthony Calvillo, when you're talking about the top guys in the league, is often overlooked. His last 3 games have been outstanding. He's well over 300 yards in his last 3, even though the team has lost 2 of those 3. He's doing his thing.
352 last week against Saskatchewan. Now first down, they fake the end around to Cahoon, and now they'll swing it out to Cahoon. Otis Floyd there, and he bounces Cahoon out at the 39, but the last drive was done on the ground.
Well, it was, and it's plays right into the strength of Anthony Calvillo when he can establish a running game early. You remember all his years in an offense with Mike Pringle behind him. Avon Coburn, obviously a very different style running back. But when Anthony Calvillo has a solid running game like he has early in this game with Coburn, watch how that opens up the pass through play action. And they've got another drive going right here. 5
plays, 75-yard touchdown drive, and Coburn had 3 rushes, 63 yards to set it up. 8 for Cahoon, so 2nd and 2. Back to Coburn, and Coburn will have the first down at the 35-yard line. It was a bit of a mystery. I know Matt Dunnigan discussed it last week, why they got away from Coburn, but clearly, as you say in the self-scouting, they have identified they've got to get 6 going on the ground again.
Well, yeah, part of that is play calling. And you know, Mark Trestman in the first couple of games, both wins, you see 347 yards passing, 52 rushing, I should say, 52 running plays, and that's dropped to 11 in the last 2, and that's basically the difference. Avon Coburn just hasn't seen the ball as much.
1st and 10, Calvillo under pressure, and this one almost picked off as Reggie Miles had a shot at the ball. That's really the first time the Lions have got some heat on Anthony Calvillo, and that has been a formula for success for BC in previous meetings.
Reggie Miles is the extra defensive back. He comes in and becomes the 6th DB in passing downs and has 3 interceptions, and the BC Lions have to start thinking run first, and that may take a little bit of time off their pass rush, although you're right, Chris, they had pressure on that last point.
26 sacks in the last 5 meetings for the Lions against Calvillo, who unloads looking for Watkins, and it was well overthrown and incomplete. And there's some jawing on the field as Coburn and Banks get back into it, and we saw a little of that in the pregame warm-up.
The reason for that is that Corey Banks went on a halfback blitz there, and Avon Coburn was the guy that was designed to come up and block him. And yeah, they were kind of jawing at each other in warm-up, and nothing really came of it. But the Montreal Alouettes are desperately looking to win on the West Coast. They haven't done it since 2000.
43-yard attempt for Duval at 90% on the year and has only missed from 54. Cahoon puts it down, and Duval puts it off the upright. Dead ball. We do have a flag. And was Duval bumped after kicking the football? Dante Marsh looks like he's going to be penalized.
Yeah, the kickers are protected in field goal formation too once the ball's kicked. Normally speaking, they have to have their legs in the air, and I think Marsh was arguing that he was pushed. It was tough to see from that angle whether he was pushed in the back.
BC number 31, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, there was a critical contact in the kicker penalty against Montreal last week that sustained a Saskatchewan touchdown drive, and now it works in Montreal's favor.
Let's take a look. You'll be able to see here at the bottom of your screen whether or not Marsh is pushed, and he is pushed. And that should not be a penalty.
Walter Spitzer pushed Marsh
and
into
Marsh
the kicker.
is trying to explain it.
And he also looked to another official to help maybe get the call overruled. Wally Bono won't like that. 1st and 10. Ben Cahoon unable to bring that one down.
Banks in the coverage again. It looks like Corey Banks is picked up right where he left off last week. Coming on a couple of blitzes, causing problems in the backfield. Now he switches across from the middle of your screen, number 24. He's going to be in coverage on the underneath coverage on Ben Cahoon, and then he just breaks across. That ball tipped a little bit high as there you see 24 coming right into the pitcher. Almost had himself another interception.
7-time 1,000-yard receiver. Coburn the handoff, has some room off the right side. First down, outside, and dropped at the 8-yard line. Avon Coburn chewing it up in this opening quarter.
Well, Avon Coburn was about 2 yards wider than Javi Glatt, who's the guy who's got to fill the hole and he's got to come across, and watch how the speed of Coburn outruns Javi Glatt right there, number 6. That's how he gets the corner, because he ran through the hole and then to the outside with that great burst.